Hi everyone, this is Dr. Michele Alignay, your family psychologist. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele. I'm going to have conversations with you about family life, relationships, and faith, and I hope you join our conversations here at this YouTube channel. Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele Alignay. It's another morning of Thursday. Good morning to everybody. I hope that you join me for the next 30 to 35 minutes of fruitful discussion regarding our topic for this morning. Say hi, friends. Oh, hi. Good morning, Anna and Tita Ami. You're the first few who are here. So join me because this topic, it's tayo yung parang nandito tayo sa gitna ng topic na ito, and that is work-life conflict. Ayan, marami ang nagtatanong, paano nga ba natin i-manage lahat sa bahay, sa buhay, sa trabaho? And I love that topic. Yung topic na ginagawa dati, they call it work-life balance. Pero let's just dissect it. So good morning, kumusta po kayo? First, I would like to ask you, how are you this week, friends? I think nung ng 90th, so almost papunta na tayo sa 100-day mark na nandito tayo sa quarantine. Sabi nga nung friend ko, paglabas natin, Pasko na. Well, we don't know, pero kung ano man yan, I hope that the Lord will give us the grace to carry on whatever circumstances that we are in, and I know everybody would agree with me. So magandang umaga ulit. Kunin niyo na ang inyong kape. Yung kape kong matapang, ang sarap ng Benguet brewed. I really love strong and bold coffee to start my day. At sinisigurado namin yan ay freshly grounded and put not in the coffee maker but in the French press. Yan ang pinakamasarap na kape. So sa usapang kape, punta tayo sa usapan buhay. Kumusta po kayo, friends? I would like those of you who are here, share this to friends who you think who might need to hear this. Also, I would like to ask you, nasan kayo ngayon? Are you working? Is work and life conflicting, meaning, alam nyo yon, hindi nyo na ba minsan alam kung ano yung sisimulan nyo, at sabi nga, hindi na natin alam kung ano yung uunahin. So please, let me know, how are you? Please put that in the comment section. How are you, friends? Kumusta kayo? What are the common issues that you are facing right now? Ano yung mga concerns you have in your plate in balancing lahat ng mga dapat nating gawin at lahat ng mga nangyayari sa atin? Para yan po yung mapag-usapan natin. Join me in this discussion. Please put that in the comment section. How are you? What have you been balancing? Ano yung mga bagay na kailangan mong i-manage right now? What are your concerns? Ayan. So, ayan, si Ate Ami may sagot siya. Trabaho, of course, that's office. Okay, what else? Ano pa yung mga bagay na you think you need to manage but you're finding it difficult? Or are you having a hard time dealing with everything in the house? Kasi the kids are still here, supposed to be actually first week na nila sa school, but then you find it difficult. So good morning sa inyo. Please put that in the comment section while I'm discussing what are your common issues that you now have in your plate. Anong meron kayo ngayon in your plate? So the common issues that I hear some people would say is that how can I effectively work and care for the home? Diba? Again, tama yan. Busy with work, juggling it with household chores. So kung ano man yung concern natin, kung meron ba tayong anak na maliit, lalong-lalo na sa meron, kung meron ba tayong like si Yeng, ikaw, yes, you may be single, pero I know that you're working hard, tapos ang inaasikaso mo, parang tatayo ka pa para magluto, and then that becomes another concern. Ang isa kong narinig while we are here in this situation, while we are in the quarantine, is that how can you effectively care for the home? How can I effectively care for the home wherein I am working? Ayan, that's one question. Another one, wala nang balance kasi we're all home. So paano nga ba mababalanse yung bahay at saka yung buhay at saka yung trabaho? Lahat tayo nasa bahay na ngayon. Okay. At ito, marami tayong mga kaibigan. Yung iba, well, unfortunately, parang nagkaroon sila ng changes sa work. So, yung iba walang trabaho. Yun naman iba na load up ng trabaho. So, that becomes a concern also. Work is taking almost all their time. So, yan. Tingnan natin yan. Before, ang madalas in the I think it's early 2000, ang madalas natin marinig ay ang tinatawag na work-life balance. That was before. Before narinig ko yan, kailangan yung work-life balance, kailangan, may tamang oras para sa iba't ibang area ng buhay, kailangan this and that. Then, but come to think of it, there is no such thing as perfect balance. Kasi sa buhay natin ngayon, pag sinabi mong balance meaning if we have a ruler, where is my ruler here? Anyway, if we have something, so I'll get the pencil again. If we have something, the balance is supposed to be nandyan sa gitna. Kailangan balanse para yung hindi bumaksak yung isa at hindi matopple yung kabila. So, dapat balanse, meaning you have the same weight given. So, balance means equal. Alam natin yan, sa balancing, sa weighing scale, that original balancing scale, there's balance. Dapat equal. But if you see, balance means equal, but in truth, we don't have that perfect balance. Bakit? I'm sure kasi hindi naman same yung amount of time that we give in to work, and hindi rin naman same yung amount of time that we give for other areas of our life, for our family, for our children. So ito, you were saying that juggling home, schooling, and working from home with little or no sleep. So that becomes, do you think, Yves, I hope that you don't mind, do you think that that's the perfect balance for you? Kasi if you're not sleeping because you're juggling homeschooling and working from home, that challenge, it's really a challenge kasi ikaw yung magka-suffer because of your health. Lack of sleep, if you compromise that, will lead you to really a lot of problems later on because your body will feel that. So, kaya ko tinatanong, balanse ba talaga? Posibleng hindi na nababalanse. So here, another thing, okay, Jade, busy but settling. Teenagers are getting bored, driving me crazy. Don't let them drive you crazy. Drive them to do house chores. They're teenagers anyway. Kaya nila yan. Well, maybe we'll talk about that on another time. Parenting teens. So here, juggling the new normal as a parent home and preparing my child for school and a teacher student. See? So ang dami natin. We have too many things on our plate. So if you look at that, balance means come COVID and lockdown, nagbago na naman. Kumbaga sabi ko nga, hindi mo na nga ma-strive. We cannot anymore have that perfect formula of what balance is. Tapos all of a sudden, here we go. Di na makabalanse na we are still here at home. There's COVID and there's the pandemic. So, how do we do all those? But the title of the topic is work-life conflicts. Kaya minsan, in the process of we want to be all, we want to do all. If you didn't realize, nagkakaroon tayo ng work-life conflict. Tayo mismo yung gumagawa. Honestly, unconsciously, our choices has leading us to have that conflict, work-life conflict. I'll take that example earlier. Juggling homeschool and working from home with little or no sleep. So, alin dyan yung something's gotta give. I have to say that. This is a blunt truth. You have to adjust in some ways so there will be sleep. Pag ang katawan mo bumigay, and then how do you do that? How would you adjust that? Working from home. Yes, you are working from home and we need work. We all need to work because we need to earn our keep. So ano dyan yung i-adjust mo? Maybe homeschool, you look for something that will be more applicable to your situation. Look for something that will be applicable to how it will be healthy for yourself and for your child. Tandaan natin, pag ang na-compromise natin yung ating well-being, which many of you are parents, many of you are working single, pero we have a family to take care of. Pag ang na-compromise ang well-being natin, and then it can pose bigger problems kasi how can we effectively do our work? So there's already work-life conflict. If you have sickness, pag nagkulang tayo sa tulog, pag lagi tayong may sakit, pag tayo ay meron na tayong emotional problem, ibig sabihin we're always cranky, we're always feeling imbalance, parang may mali, ayan. And then our mood, it's not becoming, the better side of us will becoming more impatient and all, then it becomes a problem because it might be not work-life balance, but it's causing more work-life conflict. Ibig sabihin, yung trabaho at sa buhay nagka-clash. So you have to reflect on that. I cannot tell you exactly what's the formula for it, because if you look at it, you have a value for different things. We have a different value of how we do our work. We have a different value for how we look at well-being, but we have a different value also on how we educate our kids. So, as I told you in the other episode, is that we have to trust our wisdom, and we have to trust our discernment on what is best for us. So friends, instead of thinking of work life as a balance na hindi natin makuha, and then come now, ang sinasabi, there's really work-life conflict kasi ngayon lahat tayo nasa loob ng bahay. There is really conflict. So instead of looking at life as a conflict inside us, and feeling that we always need to choose, we need to choose, we need to make do. Let's look at it at work-life integration. So I would just say hi to my friends from the US. Hi Rose and hi Kathy. They're my Saturday friends, Saturday Zoom friends. They're friends. Pero imagine in the US or in Canada, I'll just take these ladies for example. Wala naman silang maid, wala silang helper. But Kathy, I really honor you because you can the choices that you can take. Alam mo kailangan ibaba yung standard, and you are very creative in managing your 2 boys and then managing a full-time work, and still, pag nagchichismisan tayo pag Sabado dito at gabi dyan, nagliligpit ka ng bahay pero chumichismis ka. I'll take it out from there because that term is called integration. What do you mean by integration? When we integrate, we put together pieces and parts of our lives and put them together, but not trading off. Ito ang pinakamalaking trade-off na naririnig ko sa marami ngayon. Hindi na lang nila ipapasok sa school yung mga bata kasi hindi naman nila kayang tutukan. That's such a big trade-off. If you remember the other day, we talked about how we can still educate our children, pero we need to educate, we need to make them learn because they are developing, they're at the stage of development. So here, we're not talking about trade-offs. I am not compromising that trade-off. So here, I would go in the middle. I would integrate anong pwede dito sa aspeto ng buhay. Jeffrey Greenhouse and Sarjo para Suraman from I think this is a UK article. When attitudes in one role positively said that integration means that when attitude in one role positively spill over to another role, or when experiences on one role serves as resource that enrich another role in one's life, that's integration. For example, you have very good you have very good management skills in the office. You very well effectively schedule and organize work. That exact thing and you have a positive outlook of work. That exact thing should be spilled over to how you do it at home. Ang madalas ko nga marinig, excuse me, ang sabi ng iba, ay magtatrabaho na lang ako pero ang hirap magturo ng anak. Mas madali pang magturo ng ibang tao, ng staff. You know why? Because there's no emotional tag pag nagturo tayo ng ibang tao. Kasi sa anak natin, feeling natin, pag nagkamali yung anak natin, it's a reflection of our failure. And given that, there's subjectivity. But if you look at it, ako rin challenge ko yung sarili ko dito. The same skills that I'm sharing with you, it's exactly the same skill that I need to dissect with my daughter and with my son's school come August when they start schooling from home. So here, a child, we need to see integration as that yung isang aspeto ng buhay ko, kung effective ako sa trabaho, ano yung magaling kong ginagawa na magagamit ko sa bahay, ano yung yung pagka-organize ko, ano yung kailangan kong madala, and you know, in integration, it's a magic thing now. During lockdown, ang isa sa pinakamaganda niya nangyari, alam nyo, yung mga bata, if you are a parent, our kids, they saw the parents work, they saw us, and that's integration. Why? They don't see that the parents madali yung buhay. Ako, yun yung isa ko nakitang maganda, na hindi nila nakita na parang si mommy and daddy unlimited resource yung money, they just go to the office. Na ipakilala natin kung sino tayo sa kanila bilang isang business person, bilang isang resource person like me, or bilang isang my husband works in the bank, and then right now his work is fully loaded. And one time during dinner, my daughter asked, "Dad, is that really how you work?" And that for me, it means that my daughter have seen another side of his dad with that question alone. And I like also what she said that, you mean that that's how plenty your work is? And then the dad said, "You have a very good question, anak. But you know what? The work that I have for 1 week now, it's like the work that I have for 1 day to 2 days, it's the work that I have for 1 week before." So, para makita ng mga bata that it's a very good discussion, because my kids saw that the dad is just not busy. He is busy to be able to work and to provide for our needs, for the family. The same way that they see me doing this is integration. Another thing that I am happy about is that parents are seeing that the digital patterns and activities of our children. Nakikita natin, hey, I think you are in your gadget for quite a while. May I ask, what are the activities that you have come up with, or what are the activities that you're into digitally? So makikita natin kung ano yung ginagawa nila. We may not directly be like CCTV 24/7 looking over their shoulder, but we have a gauge of the activities they're into. Another thing is that having lunch together, integration doesn't mean, friends, that you will get your phone calls during lunchtime. The nice thing here is that families have a time to have lunch together. And integration doesn't mean na naglalaro kayo ng anak mo, time for your child, and you're still talking to a client while kaharap mo yung bata. So here, the thing is, maybe at 12 noon, lunchtime with the family is lunchtime with the family, but you are home, you don't need to move from one place to another. So it's just like shifting. So another thing na nakita kong advantage that integration is that checking on the home management almost every day. Nakikita natin yung galaw ng bahay, kung anong kulang. Ako yan, role ko yan, na nakikita yung kulang, at tayo rin, nakikita rin natin yung galaw ng bawat isa. And then, it is beautiful, because we never had this in our lifetime unless talagang we are, 24/7 at home together. So here, integration this pandemic gives us a chance to be in the know of what's happening in our families' lives. And also, being at home in this pandemic and that work-life integration gives us also a chance to see that the things that we hope to be perfect will never be perfect. Sorry, I am blunt with you again, friends, but the things that we hope to be perfect, will not be perfect. Our kids, they're not perfect. Our partners, they're not perfect. Our family members, they are not perfect. So here, we need to reflect that instead of, being fixated with the perfect balance, we need to understand that we work on being open, honest, and vulnerable. This is the time na ang dami nating natututunan na nag-unfold sa ugali ng isa't isa, sa circumstances natin. So I believe this is the time that we be open the things that unfold, we be open kung ano yung mga changes at bagong bagay na natutunan natin about each other, about our family, and even about ourselves. Friends, we work on being open, honest, and vulnerable. Pag hindi natin kaya, aminin natin, hindi nyo kaya. Sino ba dito yung kaya ang lahat? Kung hindi nyo kaya, can you admit it to yourself na I cannot do it all? Can you type that in your comment section, friends? If you are like me, nakikita nyo lang, nakaayos ako, mukha akong fresh. Pero friends, I also know, I know what to put down. I know when to stop thinking. Because if it's just too much for me, I know when to stop working. So, this is being open, honest, and vulnerable. And I like it here in Coffee Break that we can be like that. We can be honest about things. And that's my invitation to you guys to be more aware and open about yourself because that's the only way we know we need help. So please, kung katulad nyo ako, yan, thank you Jade, I cannot do it all. Ako, sabi ko nga, Yang, you cannot do it all. I always say that I am no superwoman. I don't like to be a superwoman. For me, perfection is unicorn. Thank you for admitting, because when we admit that, when we recognize that, thank you for doing that. Jade, Yang, Melanie, Maria, Anna Maria, thank you for admitting that we cannot do it all. You know why? When we recognize that this COVID situation, that this pandemic situation has changed personal and work dynamics. A vulnerability. If we are at the state of, we are, saying that hindi ko kaya lahat. And being vulnerable, we recognize na, hey, things have changed. Hindi nyo po ba napansin? That's what I've been nagging in our heads. That's what I've been expressing to you the past episodes, that what worked during the pre-pandemic is not the ones that working right now in this pandemic time. Hindi kung ano yung ginagawa dati, yun din po ngayon. So we need to recognize that personal and work dynamics have changed. So, we have to let go of that distinct, that there's chapters or there's portion in our lives. Kasi dati, we have become so fragmented. I've said that before. We've become so fragmented in how we do things, in how we do life, in how we manage a lot of things. Hiwalay yung, trabaho lang yan. Hindi ako mag-uuwi ng trabaho sa bahay. Another thing na, pag friends lang yan. Pag Friday night, akin yan sa labas. O kaya, Saturday morning, yan yung time ko pa, Saturday morning time ko yan para sa sarili ko. Yan yung leisure time ko, yan yung self-care time ko. So it has become too fragmented. And if we keep operating in how we were during the pre-pandemic, that everything has distinction, everything has boxes, and then it will be hard for us to have that integration right now because you are still operating in the fragmentation of the pre-pandemic time. Hindi ko naman sabing pre-Jurassic, but I will call it pre-pandemic. So friends, work-life integration, that's the invitation now. But it doesn't mean you take the calls during lunchtime or during dinner time with your friends. It doesn't mean that you even if you're already already at night. Alam nyo, honestly, ang napansin ko ngayon, medyo, di ba dati nakakahiyang mag-text pag gabi na? Ang napansin ko ngayon, alam nyo, people are messaging sa gabi, sa messenger, and then parang okay na lang. Okay lang yon, but sometimes if I feel that I would like to answer, I would answer. But there are times na, hey, I'm not gonna answer because I would like to put my boundaries. So yan yung pag-uusapan natin. How we can have a healthy work-life integration. In an article in Psychology Today, Dr. Brian Robinson, have an article that was written before, I think 2019 or 2018. And his article, it says, why is work-life integration so difficult? But I would just go down with you the tips that I have adapted. So, hindi ko kinuha lahat. Kasi yung mga tips, they're very good. But let's apply it. Let's adapt it through his outline. But let's apply it here during the pandemic season kasi iba talaga. Can you all say that with me, friends? The pandemic time, it's different. Period. The pandemic is different. It made so many things different. Life in the pandemic is different. Can you say that? It's different. Right now, we may be the same people, pero alam nyo, naniniwala ko, after pandemic, ang galing natin, friends. Nagkapit kamay tayo and we've learned so many things in life. We've valued so many things or maybe so little things. Yun yung magandang mangyari dito. So, friends, please type that. Life in the pandemic is different. It may not be difficult, but it's different, okay? So, let's go over things, the 1 to 10 things that I would like to share with you. Meron pa ba akong time? Can I go on? Okay, 1, slow down. Have you slowed down, friends? Have you slowed down? Slow down doesn't mean that you need to take a break, to take a vacation. Life in the pandemic, slowing down means that you're just not taking it all in, that you are kind to yourself when you don't finish your to-do list. So, slow down. It just means that, pacing your work because you need more energy to give. I've learned to do that, na hindi ako nag-go sa sarili ko all the time because there are times I need to slow down so that para akong buwebelo. Kasi meron mas nangangailangan. Bawa, tomorrow, okay. Like, for example, on Saturday morning, I have a talk for a big school. And then, so, tomorrow afternoon, I block my schedule that I would take time for myself. Okay? Kasi, kailangan ko ng mas maraming energy on Friday. So, baka may mag-comment sa akin na parang wala ka namang ginagawa. No, mayroon akong ginagawa. Priority ko yung sarili ko. Priority ko yung mga kailangan ko asikasuhin sa bahay. At priority ko rin yung mag-recharge ako kasi I need more of it. So, there, slow down. Learn when to slow down. Before, when I was full-time working, when I was in the guidance office, ang isang habit ko na natatandaan is every Friday afternoon, as much as possible, I don't set meetings. I don't set parent-teacher conference. I don't set any more counseling time. Hanggat maaari, yung pagdating ng lunchtime ng Friday, end of the day, nagko-close shop ako. Bakit? Doon ko ginagawa lahat ng paperwork. Doon ko inaayos yung next week schedule ko. And I find it very effective. So, kahit na nandun tayo sa regular pattern natin, and we need to do that. And the more now, in the pandemic season, we need to do that. So, here we have to slow down. And don't forget, the number 2, self-care. So, these are all S. Self-care. Please, friends, do you want another discussion on self-care? Nang nagsimula yung pandemic, I've been talking about self-care. Nagsimula yung lockdown, tapos nandito tayo sa general quarantine, community quarantine, I will still tell you about self-care. And if you look at it, if ginawa nyo na yung mga self-care strategies, the simplest self-care strategies that you can do during here in the pandemic, and you would realize that you are better now, you are healthier now because you are taking care of yourself. I'm not gonna talk about this some more, but I would just reinstate, go back to our previous topics on self-care if you want to refresh. Tapos evaluate niyo yung sarili niyo. What have I done to myself? How did I take care of myself? Because I believe kaya tayo nakaka-abante at we are still well and here because we know how to take care of ourselves better. And that is something that the pandemic has taught us. Honestly, for me, before, I just take yoga 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week. Ngayon, I need to do it daily now. Because I need to move. And that for me, parang, okay, mas masarap pala na daily to sweat it out and do things. So that's self-care. Another one, schedule. Manage your schedule. Don't let your schedule manage you. Alam nyo, madalas ko itong marinig, itong mindset na hindi ako makahindi eh. So mamaya yung topic niyan. But schedule, another S. 1 is slow down, 2 is self-care, and 3 is schedule. Manage your schedule. So, sabi nung iba, yun daw planner, yun daw pinaka-failed thing that happened ngayong pandemic. I'm sorry to say. I'll show you. I have a planner. And I have a pen, not an apple. Where is that pen of mine? I have this 3-color pen. So, this friction pen, I love it. Meron siyang different areas of my life. So, yung red, pag red yung ginamit ko sa planner ko, that is for myself or family. And then, pag yung black yung ginamit ko, yan yung mga to-do. At yung blue yung ginamit ko, important meetings, important speaking engagement, important work-related matters. Okay? So, yung mga minsan, ang dami niyan, puro to-do. So, isang tingin ko sa planner ko, sa aking weekly planner, I like it going through the weekly planner. Pag nakita kong halos walang red, ibig sabihin wala akong oras sa sarili ko, kailangan ko siyang lagyan. So, it's managing my schedule. And if you say na, hindi ako makahindi kasi kailangan eh. And then learn to put parameters kung hanggang saan yung yes at hanggang saan yung no. Ako rin yung matatambakan and then you manage yourself. You manage yourself. So here, say no. Yan yung number 4. From the schedule, say no. So, 1 is slow down, 2 self-care, 3 schedule, 4 is say no. Don't require yourself to do it all. Say no. Ang nakita ko parang don't take all the load. Take a load, but don't take it all. As I always share with you, we can have it all, not all at the same time. So, kasi hindi mo rin kakayanin. Say no. Don't require yourself to do it all. Kasi kailangan, kasi walang gagawa. Minsan nga sabi ko, kung yun talagang kailangan sa trabaho, I gave this advice to one friend. Tapos sabi niya, your boss is not helping. Di paputokin mo. Sabi niya, what do you mean paputokin? Di let it, explode. Kasi ibig sabihin, hindi mo na kaya, kinakaya mo lang. Pag pumutok, pag nagka-problema, and then everybody will be accountable for everything. So, yes, accountable ako. Tao ako, hindi ko na kaya lahat eh. Because maybe you are taking it all in. Even sa family life, it's like that. We have a difficult time saying no to some. Ibig ko sabihin, yung pag inutos ba lahat, ikaw lahat yung gagawa, kahit na alam mo na may mga iba naman na pwedeng gumawa. So you have to say no. Don't require yourself to do it all. And number 5, simplify your life and your lifestyle. Madalas na natin pag-usapan yan, friends. Simplify. Simplify things. Simplify your mindset. Kung hindi kaya, edi hindi. Kasi dapat ganito, saan ba ako makakahanap ng ganito? Wala na nga tayong resources. Limited na nga ibang resources. Maghahanap ka pa. Sabi ko nga, choosy ka pa. Ito na lang muna. It's not that settling for second best, but just removing na kailangan ba talaga. And we've done a lot of discussion on simplifying your life. And if you realize, all the tools that I've been talking about, they're exactly here in managing work life. Another one is single task. Ayan. Maybe we can talk about this on another time. Friends, actually, misnomer talaga yung multitasking, and then someone put a comment pa that, but life asks us to multitask. Yes, pero do you let life dictate to you? No, because honestly, even sa atin in our generation, we are programmed for single tasking. The most task that we can really do is read a book, work, and there's music at the background. Hindi po natin kaya talaga. And studies have proven that the more that we have we are multitasking, we're chatting with something, we're managing something, the more our thought pattern, it's becoming more crucial, at the more na tayo ay nahihirapang gumawa ng mga bagay. I realize this whenever I'm writing. Kaya whenever I'm writing, I have to seriously write things. I have to single task and focus on my writing alone. Nag-off ako ng internet connection in my laptop whenever I am writing. Simply because I need to produce and focus on my content. So you have to go, there are matters that you can multitask, but not everything. So you have to learn how to single task again. That's another S. And 7, set boundaries. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo sa schedule. Magsabi ka sa sarili mo, okay, at 7, wala na akong sasagutin na work-related. Or, sorry, masyadong maaga yung inquiry mo. Alas 8 pa yung office hours. Alas 8 kita sasagutin. So, set boundaries. Hanggang saan lang yung kaya mo. Hindi ko na kaya yung favor na hinihingi mo, ma, or your sister, or your brother. Hindi ko na kaya yan. Hanggang dito lang yung kaya kong i-offer. And then set boundaries. If you need to say no, setting boundaries is also providing the option na kaya mo. But you don't need to bend yourself. You don't need to bend yourself all the time. Sorry, natawa ko. Multitasking self, aray. So, yeah, you have to evaluate also because sometimes multitasking, if you don't realize, it's causing us our well-being already. Kasi we're spreading ourselves too thin. So, yan. So, yeah. J, I like it. It's frustrating when we are unable to do all the tasks. So, I learned to accept that we have limitations. Oo naman, lahat tayo may limitation. And you have to simplify kung dati ang dami mong steps na ginagawa sa bahay. Yung mga ang dami mong standards with everything. And maybe you can simplify it now. So, here, as I said, set boundaries. Remember our topic regarding emotional boundary. Diba, social distancing? Remember our topic on our social, emotional distancing? This is exactly that. What I mean by setting boundaries is that you set boundaries with the important people. Another setting of boundaries na alam ko mahirap, we set boundaries for our kids. If we are working and our kids need us for something, and then we have to teach them how we set the boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't mean that we are unloving, but setting boundaries, it means that giving time to work. Because remember, work-life integration, anak, for a while, I will just finish this so I can go to you. Kasi pwede naman yun. Anak, at this time, I'll be with you, okay? But right now, mommy just need to finish this. And that's boundary setting. And that is also giving time for yourself para hindi mo nararamdaman na, kailangan ako ng anak ko, hinihila ako ng anak ko. And I think when we move into the work-life situation, that includes the education of our kids, it's exactly as that. We set boundaries. O sige, while you're in schooling, while you're doing school, I'll do my work. And then after that, siguro mga 4 p.m., I'll check on what you have. Diba? So that's setting the boundaries. And then, there. That's 7. 8. Sensing and breathing. Diba, tinuro ko na yan sa inyo? That sensing and breathing, it's sensing, it's really just, using our senses. Tumingin sa langit, you just enjoy a good smell, and breathing, take good deep breaths because it's really important. It's just sneaking in something. You sensing, meaning you just smell. Actually, itong senses, itong pagkakape, sense to it because the sense of taste. What I like about coffee press, it's that it has powdery feel. Using the senses. So sensing and breathing, it's also work-life integration kasi that's how you integrate a little of life into your busy day. So the work-life integration, you start moving things in your house and see how can it adjust to the work-life situation that you have now. So ngayon medyo nag-adjust kami ng mga bagay sa bahay. Tapos yung second floor namin, meron nun kaming work nook. So my husband works there now. So siya yung second floor, ako yung ground floor. Okay? So it's a sensing and breathing. At saka inayos namin in such a way that there's windows, so there's sunlight. Ayan. Senses yan. We are using the senses to maximize life. And number 9, ito friends, important to. Self-talk. Positive self-talk. Build yourself. Nobody can build yourself but you. At utang na loob, huwag kayo ang harsh sa sarili nyo. Harsh na ang mundo. Marami ng basher, marami ng trolls. Pag nagbasa ka ng mga news, tapos makita mo how people are very cruel in swearing people, in swearing mga personalities and celebrities because of their opinions. Wow, I am amazed how cruel and how blunt people can be. So please, do not be blunt to yourself. Tayo mismo, we need to be kind to ourselves. So if you cannot do it, don't call yourself stupid. Just tell yourself na, oh my, it's not the best day, but it's okay. So, when you say it's progress, not perfection, is a keep patting yourself at the back for completing a progress, for making we are where we are, not where. What do I mean is that I believe we are one step better to where we were before. Di ba? Yung mas okay pa rin kung nasan tayo ngayon than where we were then. So there, give yourself positive self-talk by building yourself. So that's number 9. And number 10! Are you excited? Ako, I'm excited. Friends, share the load. Huwag niyong sarilinin lahat. Ayan po tayo. Yan yung guilty, yung marami. Share the load. Ask help. Sino naman ang tutulong sa akin? Yung anak niyo. Ito, narinig ko to sa maraming mami. Kasi hindi nila maaayos Maaayos nila yan. Give them 1 year to do it. Maaayos nila. Hindi ko talaga pa rin inaasikaso. Hindi ko pinag-aayos ng kwarto at ng cabinet yung anak ko kasi hindi nga. Ayoko, I'm sharing the load to her. Because pag ginawa ko't ginawa, she will never learn. But I held her accountable for that. Do it. So here, share the load. Share the load. Make them do the kitchen. Make them do kitchen duties. Halimbawa, nung minsan, meron yung mga during the quarantine, yung mga rami ngayon nagde-deliver ng food sa bahay. Do you know that that's sharing the load? Tapos meron nag-comment na parang medyo nabash siya na parang bakit ba kasi kayo order ng pagkain masarap naman magluto. At meron talaga nag-post ng, "Dear ate ganyan, masaya naman magluto pero wala po kaming oras magluto." Totoo yan. Alam nyo, don't be guilty if you need to buy food. Yes, mas murang magluto. Pero imagine niyo yung oras kung sa mga tao na talagang you need to buy food because you need to pay for the natutunan ko, you need to pay for the convenience. So, wala kang helper. O kaya, wala kang extrahan. Nagtatrabaho ka. Buying food for someone, it's una, you're helping the person. Second, imagine if you will put effort into buying the raw materials, putting the effort into thinking of the food, and buying the food. Tatlo na agad yon. So, yung parang ibinayad mong pera, ibinayad mo lang sa kanila, nakatulong ka pa. At natulungan mo pa yung sarili mo to free up that time that you need to share the load to be able to do something more important. I don't know what's important for you, pero baka mas nag-work-life balance ka. Mas nagkaroon ka ng oras mag-self-care. Nagkaroon ka ng oras na magtaas ng konti ng paa. So friends, that's sharing the load. Wag mong sarilinin lahat. Ang pinakamagandang mangyari dito is that we share the load to our kids. We don't need to give all the load to them, but even the mere idea of making them do kitchen duties, then that's part of sharing the load. Yes, sharing the load is checking your realities. Kung hindi mo kaya, wag mong sarilinin. At friends, sharing the load, if you have a husband, share the load with your husband. Wag kayong magreklamo na puro ako na lang. Kung inaako nyo naman, bakit? Lagi ko itong sinasabi, check your standards. Baka sobrang taas ng standards mo. You cannot relinquish a task to the people in your house. Hindi mo sila mapagkatiwalaan because they don't do it the same way you do. Your standard is too high. It's causing you also risk on your well-being. I said this before, say no to a few and you say yes to you. Say no to a few and you say yes to you. There are areas in life that we need to balance, and that is work or school, home or family, or immediately lahat ng nasa under nitong bahay, kasama yung pamilya natin dyan. Community, extended family, neighbors, church, socials, and the self. The work or the school, meaning our occupation, home or the family, community, if we have extension, and the self. Kaya nyo lahat? Minsan hindi natin kayang lahat. So we try our very best to integrate everything. The truth is, what worked before may not work now. So we have to revisit how we work-life integrate now, because if those 4 areas of our life are already conflicting, then let go of that work-life balance you have before. If there's already work-life conflict in the areas of life, meaning the work or school, the home or family, community, and yourself, kung meron ng conflict, work-life conflict dito sa apat na to, let's move into work-life integration. Let's see how you can best integrate. It does not need to be perfect right away. But friends, can you type this in your comment section? Ito yung battle cry natin. I gave you 10 steps today. That's slow down, self-care, schedule, say no, simplify your life, single task, set boundaries, sensing and breathing, self-talk, and then share the load. Kung magawa natin yan, remember, we need to look at our progress, not at the perfection. Perfection, as I always say, it's unicorn. Friends, let's do more and look more on the progress in integrating life during the pandemic, because it's different and because we cannot do it all, or else something's gotta give. So, I'll repeat 2 of my favorite lines: progress, not perfection, and we can do it all, not all at the same time. And that's our coffee break for this Thursday. See you again next Tuesday for another session of Coffee Break. And friends, you have the weekend to start sorting out how you do your work-life integration. Balitaan nyo ako next week kung anong nangyari. Cheers! And I hope that you have a good weekend and celebrate. Don't forget to celebrate Father's Day. Kung hindi nyo kaya magluto, you order. Kung walang perang pag-order, simplify. Celebration, it's inside you, not in the festivities. God bless you all, friends. See you again next Tuesday.